This is truly an immortal chess game. It was Fabiano Caruana playing with white, Wesley So with black, St. Louis Rapid and Blitz tournament, two of the world's absolute best, and it just doesn't get better than this. Fabi starts with the D pawn, knight into the game, explosive c4, and after this standard Nimzo Indian defense, we see pawn to f3. Weakens the king, but goes for the big center. And now in response, c5, d5, and this wild move, which is so cool. Watch this. Pawn b5 from Wesley So, playing in this Magnus-esque aggressive manner. You can't take it with the knight, it's pinned. You can take with the pawn, yes, but then your central pawn drops. There's a pin, remember. There's pressure. This is great for black. So in the game, we saw e4, not only setting up the massive center, but also the connect 4. Fabi goes and wins himself another vacation with Hikaru in his own throw, of course. They love hanging out there, the pair of them. What a lucky guy. And pawn d6 in response. Classic dark squared grip and play. We now see bishop d2. It breaks the pin. It threatens to play knight takes on b5, and so Wesley takes here. You so often see it in the Nimzo Indian. Black gives the bishops, but it's a closed structure. The knights can maneuver, and look at this. Before you can say, hey Wesley, show us your home gaming setup, we now see this bishop back up after the space is gained. Castles is played. Knight e2, takes in the centre, gives white an uncomfortable choice. Do you take with the e-pawn and expose your king? Not the most amazing pawn structure. Or do you take with the c-pawn? Keep the connect 4. This is what happened in the game, and this is really instructive. If you play a standard developing move like knight b to d7, rook e8, doesn't really matter, white then gets knight g3, and you've suddenly killed this knight. It can go backwards, sure, but it can't step forwards. And when it steps forwards, it kind of looks at some dark squares and opens the queen. In this position, white's going to develop the bishop, castle the king, maybe f4 on a good day. If you can protect the e-pawn, white's got a great game, having some fun. Let's back it up. In the game, knight h5. And now if you go knight g3, there's queen h4. Big problem. Knight pinned to the king. Lots of pressure. You can't support it. So we didn't see knight g3. Fabi plays queen b3. They're both going toe-to-toe in this rich, sharp position. This gives the king a square on d1 in some lines. Picture g4, queen h4 check. King can now run and not be mated. It's deep stuff. What does Wesley do here? The most uncompromising move. It's pawn f5. He roars like the chess lion he is. This is fantastic to see him playing with such panache. Now, if bishop takes, you're running into g4. Because yes, there's check here, but the king runs like we say, and you can pick up a piece. Now, the game goes on with bishop g6. Black has tons of compensation, but that is a piece. That wasn't played. Knight d7 was selected instead. Clean pawn down now. In response, you could play knight g3, a kind of consolidating move, letting the pawn drop one day. But in the game, g4 from Fabi. Vamos, supporting his extra pawn, saying prove it, show me your compensation. You can check, top move of the all-powerful engine, but Wesley plays this one. Very, very powerful piece. You're about to see some tactics galore. The knight is hanging and Fabi eats it. He says, if you're going to kill me, you're going to kill me with a full tummy. Now, what else could you play here? Well, again, knight g3 is a very strong move. You don't take the piece, but you keep a nice clump of pawns protecting your king, and you open this bishop to cover the c4 square with the queen. You're going to see why that's important. In the game, Fabi chows down, makes a kind of gobble gobble sound. Very good etiquette. And now here we go. The fireworks unleashed. The explosive c4 is on the board. This is fantastic. You cannot capture this pawn because knight d3 check, and the queen just cannot get out the forking way. She's going to drop off the board. So she has to go. If you start stepping to light squares, you start running into the bishop. Or c2, even worse. Takes comes with tempo. So we saw queen e3. Best move. Only move to keep the game going. Knight d3 check in response. King d1 the only square. Don't want to be giving up your queen, of course. Knight takes check. King c2 and pawn c3 now supports this knight as well as attacking this bishop. But of course, if you ever munch, the white king munches here. So it's a very rich, dynamic equilibrium of a position. Absolutely fascinating. The knight centralizes. Great move. You open the bishop. You cover this pawn so that after bishop takes check, you can take with the knight. What do we see in the game? Well, the best move is actually taking with check. Let's not go down that line. The lines are crazy, as you can imagine. In the game, queen f6, a more solid move, you could say. Activating down here, also pressuring this pawn. The best move from Fabi, queen f4, a kind of cold shower on the black attack, saying whenever you recapture, we're not just trading minor pieces, we're trading queens. But none of that happened. Fabi plays the subpar bishop c1. Now it looks so natural. Get rid of the knight, then carry on your game, develop with bishop d3 maybe, rook g1, go for some attack. But that wasn't played. No knight move back to a4 or something. We saw instead the completely uncompromising, aggressive bishop d7. This is just awesome, because after bishop takes on b2, the point is not pawn recaptures, getting rid of all the initiative. It's rook fe8, hitting the queen. And you can't go for some queen sack lines and say I've got tons of material for my queen, because this knight's also hanging at the end of many lines on d4, as well as having to save your bishop. So the queen does have to move. Fabi picks the best square. You know, you want to stay with the knight, of course. Keep defending it from this queen's attack. Now we saw check though. King b1. And this is the trouble. White's material up, but look at the rook. Trapped in the corner. Amazing bishop. Aggressive pawn. Queen poised to join the attack. And now here it is. The absolute brilliancy move of the game. Can you guess what Wesley played here? This is some puzzle rush genius. It's rook e1 check. I mean, if that doesn't put a smile on your face on the chessboard, right? This is what made the game just jump off the screen at me. Incredible. Why can't you take? Well, now black captures the knight here, but bigger than that, the king's just getting mated. You know, if you try and save this bishop, the pawn pushes, check, and mate. How cool is that? And if you don't move the bishop, say try and move the king and run for it, no good. Check, you're forced to step back. There's a mate and a half. Let's back it up. What to do? You have to bring the queen over. Can't remember all the lines. I think queen c1 is what I was looking at. And give up that queen, basically. Even then, you still get mated fairly soon. Rook joins, queen can join. There's too much pressure. The king's too exposed. The piece is too uncoordinated. So let's back up here. This is a killer move. And it means that the only move to stay in the game is bishop c1. Found by Fabi. Incredible battle by these two. Rook a8 is the best move, supporting the other one, preparing rook e2 in some lines, which sounds nuts, I know, but bear with me. And now the only move here, once again, to stay in the game is a bishop move to bring this rook in, but don't plonk it here. This looks natural, right? But then there's a number of amazing moves, but this is one of the coolest. If knight takes, then again there's this check. You've intercepted any kind of connection. This is a mate. So let's back up. Queen's going to drop. What to do? This is actually the best line. Still you get mated in just a few. Many similar lines like this. So you can't go bishop g2. So Fabi plays bishop b5, and he doesn't even do it with a whoosh. I think he was a bit deflated by this point. He's on the receiving end of a brilliancy. The rook drops here, but what's amazing is if you play bishop takes here, the natural move, you could say, taking the exchange, then amazingly white's actually okay. The line goes something like this, very wild. You would think takes, right? But no, that's not even the move. Then there's some stuff with the queen stepping in. Could even be bishop a4. But no, after b3, queen e3 is apparently best. Attacking these pawns, staying with the knight, also pressuring the bishop. The lines can go something like this. One I found here. Wrong way to take, sorry. And apparently this rook versus two minors should be level. Anything could happen though. You'd suspect white has an edge, but apparently black can hold. Let's back it up. Crazy lines, but taking the exchange was the way to go. Fabi didn't do it. He took on a4. Now it does make a ton of sense as well, because after Wesley doubles these rooks and pressures the bishop twice, king c2 was played, so you defend with the bishop, you activate the king. This one's ready to bounce around unopposed, maybe into e6. You've got a knight hopping one day. The whole position looks really nice. But there's one move, one fundamental problem with this entire way of playing. It's the only winning move, and Wesley So. He's a pro, he goes and finds it. It's rook hf1. And the reason it's such a killer is the queen has to move, and she can't stay with the knight. There just isn't a clean square. h4 also covered. And because of that geometry, no d2 either. It means the knight's dropping off the board. It means the game is lost. This is actually the best try. Fabi plays it. It means he can save this knight. But there's just too much material here for black. The pawns, the rook, the queen, the white pieces are terribly coordinated. This is a nice little shot from Wesley, opening the queen, and Fabi's clock is desperately low now. We see this one played, check, using some distraction stuff. Takes was played. There were other options, but this is how it went. This was an unnecessary check, but it's what was played. Now the rook was captured, far from perfect chess at this point, but it doesn't matter. The brilliancy of Wesley So has done its damage. He's moved himself into this winning endgame here. Queen against the three minors. Sometimes these can be better, but not here. Two connected passers, so close to becoming a baby girl. Plus the king's exposed. There goes a minor piece to stop the pawns, and now it's just a matter of technique. This is stunning though. Watch this staircasing, preparing to capture this pawn. So the bishop attacks and defends, but another check. So the king steps up, and another staircase check. And Wesley staircases his way all the way back. This time if you go d2, there's takes with check. So we saw this, and now this anyway. Bishop d2 on the board, and now the pawn drops. If you'd have played takes here, then the bishop was dropping. This is the issue. So bishop d2, pawn takes pawn, bishop d3, h5. Fabi had enough. He threw in the towel, resigned the game. The reality is this is running, winning the whole show. Queen's too powerful, bishop's too loose. King's got this passer under wraps. All good. Incredible game from Wesley. Really enjoyed that one. I hope you did too. Have a look at the video on screen if you want to see another epic game of chess, and I hope to see you again soon. Cheers.